The boy's voice was barely louder than the clink of coffee cups, yet it stopped the entire room. "Mom, I'm cold." She pulled him closer on the worn vinyl bench, her coat too thin to share. Outside, rain tapped the windows like impatient fingers, and inside, the cafe smelled of cinnamon and warmth they couldn't afford. Her name was Elena. Every morning, she walked the 3 miles from the shelter with her 6-year-old. Mateo, because the library didn't open until 10 and the cafe let them, said if they ordered something, today something meant 2 glasses of water. The waiter, a college kid named Jonah, set them down without a word and wiped the table a little too hard. Elena counted the coins in her pocket again. 4 quarters, 1 dime, 3 pennies. Not enough for toast. She smoothed Mateo's hair, the curls damp from the rain. "We'll be okay, mijo," she whispered. "God sees us." Mateo nodded, but his small hands trembled around the glass. Elena opened her purse and took out a crumpled napkin. On it, she wrote in careful pencil, "Thank you for the water. We're praying for a miracle today." She folded it under the salt shaker, the way her own mother used to leave notes for waitresses back home. Jonah watched from behind the counter. He'd been told to keep tables turning, especially on busy mornings. The manager, Mr. Hargrove, had a rule, no loitering. Jonah glanced at the clock. 2 hours until his shift ended. 2 hours until he could study for the exam he was failing. He didn't have time for sad stories. Mateo tugged her sleeve. "Mom, my tummy hurts." She kissed his forehead. "Just a little longer." Across the room, an older woman in a red scarf watched them. She had come for quiet and a scone, but the child's shivering kept pulling her eyes away. Jonah cleared his throat and approached. "Ma'am, we're going to need the table soon." Elena's cheeks flushed. "Of course. 5 more minutes?" He hesitated. The boy's lips were turning blue. Jonah sighed and walked away, pretending to check the pastry case. That's when the woman in the red scarf stood. She was Mrs. Delgado, a retired teacher who came every Tuesday for the same blueberry muffin. She carried her plate to Elena's table. "Mind if I sit?" she asked softly. Elena shook her head, surprised. Mrs. Delgado broke the muffin in half and slid 1 piece toward Mateo. "It's still warm," she said. Mateo looked at his mother. Elena's eyes filled, but she nodded. "Thank you," she whispered. Mrs. Delgado smiled. "My grandson used to eat these like cookies." Jonah watched, arms crossed, unsure what to do. The door chimed again. A man in a delivery jacket rushed in, shaking rain from his cap. He scanned the room, then zeroed in on Elena. "Are you Elena Ramirez?" She stood slowly. "Yes?" He handed her an envelope. "From St. Mary's Church. They said to find you here." Inside was a gift card for the grocery store down the street, loaded with $200. A note read, "For the mother who prays at the cafe." Got hurt. Elena's hand flew to her mouth. Mateo peeked inside the envelope. "Mom, is it real?" She laughed through tears. "It's real, baby." Jonah's heart dropped like a stone. He remembered the napkin. He walked over, picked it up, and read the tiny words again. "We're praying for a miracle today." His eyes stung. He disappeared into the kitchen. Minutes later, he returned with a tray. 2 hot chocolates, grilled cheese cut into triangles, and a bowl of tomato soup. Steam curled like incense. "This is on me," he said, voice thick. I'm sorry I rushed you." Elena looked up, startled. "You don't have to." "I want to," Jonah said. "Please." Mateo's eyes went wide. He took a sip of hot chocolate and smiled for the first time all morning. Mrs. Delgado raised her coffee cup in a quiet toast. Mr. Hargrove, who had been watching from the doorway, said nothing. He simply turned the closed sign a little early and locked the door so no one else could interrupt. Elena ate slowly, savoring every bite. Between mouthfuls, she told them about the job interview tomorrow. The landlord who might evict them, the way Mateo still believed angels wore sneakers. Jonah listened, leaning against the counter. Mrs. Delgado shared stories of her classroom. How one lunch lady used to save extra milk for kids who forgot. Kindness, she said, was a language everyone understood when spoken softly. When the rain stopped, sunlight slipped through the clouds and painted the cafe gold. Elena gathered their things. She left the gift card on the table with a new note. "Thank you for being our miracle today." Jonah tried to give it back. She shook her head. "Use it for the next person who orders water." He nodded, unable to speak. Mateo hugged Mrs. Delgado's knees. She bent down and tucked a $5 bill into his pocket. For ice cream when you get your new home, she said. Elena hugged Jonah, then Mrs. Delgado, then even Mr. Hargrove, who patted her back awkwardly but didn't pull away. As they stepped outside, Mateo looked up at the sky. Mom, the clouds opened like a door. Elena smiled. Sometimes they do. Jonah watched them go. He pinned both notes side by side on the bulletin board behind the register. The next morning, a businessman ordered only water and Jonah brought him soup without being asked. Word spread quietly. The cafe became a place where miracles ordered off menu. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change someone's world. Share this story if it touched your heart.